Good morning, Junior 3. How are you today? Today we have a new lesson which is called water. Water. In the first, I will talk about the importance of water. Importance of water. What is the importance of the water? I can use the water in many things like number 1, drinking. Number 2, cooking. Number 3, taking a shower. Number 4, watering plants. So I can use the water in many things like drinking, cooking, taking a shower, watering plants. Drinking, cooking, taking a shower, watering plants. Drinking, cooking, taking a shower, watering plants. So they are the importance of the water. After that, I can talk about the sources of the water. Sources of water. We can find the water in the ocean. Number 2, ponds. Number 3, rivers. Number 4, lakes. So I can find the water, or the sources of the water are ocean, ponds, river, and lakes. Again, sources of the water are ocean, ponds, river, and lakes. Ocean, ponds, river, and lakes. After that, I will talk about this is the earth, the planet that we live. When we look to the earth, we will find most of it's blue. So this blue, it's water. So the most of the earth have water. Okay, Junior 3? After that, I will talk about the water in our world. When we look to the world, we can find 2 types of water. Salt water, like the water in the sea, we can't drinking. So salt water. The first type is salt water, like ocean and sea. Ocean and sea, they are salt water. Okay, Junior 3? After that, the fresh water, like the water we drinking. We have 2 types of fresh water, liquid and frozen. Liquid like the water in the tap, it's a liquid, so we can drinking. Like the liquid water we can find in the rivers, lakes. Number 3, underground water, like the people that we live in the desert, we drinking from the underground water. Okay, so liquid water, it's a fresh water you can drink, like the water in the rivers, lakes, underground water. River, lakes, underground water. Okay, they are liquid water. Frozen water, like the water when we put in the freezer, it changes into ice or frozen. Okay, so the frozen water found in the glaciers. What is the meaning of glaciers? Glaciers mean like the river, but all the river, it's ice. Okay, so it's glaciers have frozen water. Number 2, ice caps. Ice caps mean it's a block of ice, like the cap. Okay, so it's called ice caps. So, Junior 3, I will talk again. Water in our world found in the 2 types or 2 shapes: salt water and fresh water. Number 1, salt water found in the ocean or in the sea. Number 2, fresh water. We have 2 types of fresh water, liquid and frozen. Liquid found in the rivers, lakes, underground water. Frozen water found in the 2 shapes, glaciers and ice caps. Okay, Junior 3. Now I will tell you something. The salt water, the percentage of salt water is more than the fresh water. When we look in our world, we will find the percentage of salt water is more than the percentage of fresh water. Okay, junior 3. So now I will talk about the water cycle. Water cycle. Water cycle mean change of water from state to another state. Okay. Number 1, I have process. Like number 1, evaporation. Evaporation. What is the meaning of evaporation? Let's read together. It's a process that happens when the sun heats the surface of the water bodies, sea or ocean. Some of water changes to vapor, mixing with air and rises up. What is this? I will bring a cup of water and I put this cup of water on the flame. This called the flame, okay? This flame. So this flame, this heating or cooling, yes, it's heating, okay? Fire. So I put the cup of water in the flame and I for 2 minutes or 3 minutes, and after that I will note that this water in the cup changes into water vapor like this. So the water, the liquid, changes into water vapor. It's a gas. So I changes the water into water vapor by heating. Yes. So when the water changes into water vapor by heating, it's called evaporation. This process, it's called evaporation. It's called evaporation. So junior 3, this is meaning of evaporation. Evaporation means when the water changes into water vapor by heating. So junior 3, what is the source of the heating in our life? Yes, God created us the sun. The sun is the main source of the heating. So when the sun emits heat to the sea, this water in the sea evaporates, okay, and changes into water vapor. This water vapor go to the sky, okay, and collecting together and making a cloud. So this is mean evaporation. This is mean evaporation. And what is the source of the heat? Sun is the source of the heat. So what is the meaning of evaporation? Evaporation means change the water into water vapor by heating. Change the water into water vapor by heating. It's called evaporation. It's called evaporation. After that, I will talk about the second process that's called condensation. Condensation means a process that happens when the air cools down and water vapor condenses back into water droplets. These droplets collected together to form clouds. What is this? When I bring this water vapor that's come out from the cup, you remember the water vapor that come from the cup? This water vapor. When I cover the water vapor by cold surface, any cold surface, this water vapor will change again into water. This water vapor will, when he meet a cold surface, he will changes again into water. So I changes the water vapor into water again by cooling. This process, junior 3, it's called condensation. It's called condensation. So what is the meaning of condensation? Condensation means changing water vapor into water again by cooling. So this process, it's called condensation. Condensation means When I put cold surface or cooling above the water vapor gas, it will change again into water. This is called condensation. Condensation means changing water vapor into water by cooling. So we have two processes, evaporation and condensation. Evaporation, when I change the water into water vapor by heating. Change the water into water vapor by heating. This is called evaporation. And condensation means when I change the water vapor into water again by cooling. Okay? It's called condensation. The process number 3, it's called precipitation. Precipitation. What is the meaning of precipitation? A process that happens when water droplets in clouds fall as a rain, and if it's cold, they fall as a snow. Junior 3, when in the winter the sky get rains, yes. So when it's raining in the winter, the sky raining, yes. So the water droplets as a rain, but if there are very very cold, this rain fall as a snow. So it's called precipitation. Okay, junior 3. Let's start to solve the exercise. Percentage of salt water is not the percentage of fresh water, more than or less than. Yes, the salt water is more than the fresh water. Number 2. Space is the source of heat that causes evaporation of water. Yes, sun is the source of heat. Who converts water into vapor? Yes, by heating water into vapor by heating. Is a process which turns vapor into water. From vapor to water. Yes, condensation. Is a process which turns water to vapor. Yes, evaporation. Okay, junior 3, we will take lesson 10, water in our body. Okay, we will take some parts of lesson 10. Number 1, I will talk about when you are very thirsty and we need a water. You go to the mom, I am very very thirsty, I need water. You drink more water, so our body takes the enough water. When we takes enough water that you need, our body become hydrated. So when you take enough amount of water, our body becomes, yes, hydrated. So hydrated mean when we drink enough amount of water that keeps our body function well or working well. So when we take enough amount of water, our body become hydrated. And when we lose a lot of water, when we do more exercise and running and do exercise, we will lose more water. So when we lose more water, our body becomes dehydrated. So dehydrated mean when we lose too much water without replacing it. So when we lose a lot of water, our body become dehydrated. Dehydrated. But when we drink or when we get enough amount of water, our body become hydrated. Hydrated. And when we lose a lot of amount of water, our body becomes dehydrated. Dehydrated. So after that, what happen when we lose too much water? What happen when we lose too much water? Number one, you feeling thirsty. Number two, you feeling tired and weak. You can't move. I'm very tired. Yes. And number three, you have a headache. You have a headache in your head. Number four, when we lose a lot of water, you become hydrated or dehydrated? Yes, become dehydrated. You become dehydrated. So what will happen when we lose a lot of water? Number one, feeling thirsty, feeling thirsty, feeling tired and weak, feeling tired and weak. Number three, have a headache, have a headache. Number four, become dehydrated, become dehydrated. We have a note. So we need to drink 8 cups of water or 2 liters of water every day. We need to drink 8 cups of water every day. Okay, Junior 3, let's start solve exercise. Choose the correct answer. Space occupied most of our body. Yes, water. Number two, if we lose water without replacing it, we will be, if I lose a lot of water, become hydrated or dehydrated? Yes, dehydrated. Let's make a circle on dehydrated. Number three, we need to drink not water every day, 8 cups of water. 8 cups of water.